young people that need skilling on baking. I'm just throwing it out there. There could be other innovative programs. They can submit a proposal to us for a partnership or a special project, but that one gets a little bit tricky. It's budget dependent. If there's no budget, we unfortunately cannot do special projects or partnerships, right? So we encourage young people to apply to get what is called a T number as non-levy paying entities. Because remember, I spoke to levy paying, and then there's also non-levy paying. It doesn't mean we will not look at your proposal or your request for funding if you don't pay levies. You just need, unfortunately, to comply. And our compliance list, like any other government department, comprises of your CIPCs, your tax clearances, and letters confirming that you don't pay levies. And then we look at it. And I mean, we don't just disperse funds because Parliament will come back and say, what did you do with your money? We must do what is called a due diligence to really check that NPO, it really does exist. And then also the learning programs that we have, say Hector has started a small baking initiative for Mokwatsi Extension 2. I keep saying Mokwatsi because we're at Orbit College for the past 2 days. And there's 2 young people in the street who want to teach the skill of baking. That can be called a learnership. We've got a learnership programs for skilled and non-skilled people, where Hector can apply for a discretionary grant, R1,000 stipend, to make sure that we at least attend the learnerships every day. It's really for transport, but what can we say? And then from a bursaries perspective, we also fund, we pay for bursaries. So if you are going to Orbit College, you want to do an artisanal program, or you want to be an artisan, or you want to learn, the art of, financial management, Orbit College can apply on your behalf. If you go to that college, they also put in under discretionary grants. That is why we fund discretionary grants this year for next year, so that you'll be able to start school on time and there's no delays. The colleges or the universities must apply for that. We also do fund for masters and programs. We really are looking for knowledge in the sector, but then obviously if you're going to apply for a master's degree in the food and beverages sector, your topic must speak to food and beverages manufacturing sector, or it must tell us how the sector is sustainable, whatever. Your university must help you, obviously, with your supervisor to shape your thinking, and then they can apply. We really do fund masters. And last one is artisans and apprenticeships. Artisans includes plumbers, welders, millwrights, electricians, builders, even though builders fall under the construction sector. They can start their businesses. It was quite interesting. Dr. Mufo, we were talking about it earlier, that he runs a program in Limpopo, and he asked young people in the room, who wants to be a doctor and a lawyer and an accountant? They raised their hands. And then he says, those that did not raise their hands are going to go to a TVET college. They're going to be artisans, and they're going to end up being your clients, because they are the ones that are going to work quicker, that are going to find employment and employ other people quickly, or rather, become entrepreneurs. So we do fund artisan programs, again, under discretionary grants, and only also if you've been accepted by a particular college. That's where the compliance part kicks in.
And I think you also answered what I was asking myself, that all these have to be aligned with your CETA.
100%.
Culinary staff, chefs, baking.
Now that's where it gets tricky. There was on the screen, they were waving different types of CETAs, right? We do food manufacturing. food and beverages manufacturing. I'm going to explain the differences. There's another SETA called Keth SETA. They do culinary, they do chefs, they
Oh,
do
so-
hospitality. It's two different disciplines. Runa, how I explain it in this fashion. Imagine a potato leaving the ground. Right?
Yes.
You plow the potato. What must happen to the potato? What must happen? The potato must be eaten. But there's multiple ways to eat a potato, right? You take that potato, it ends up being a Simba chips packet where you'll buy it, go Pick and Pay and whatever. But before it gets to Pick and Pay, it went through a process, and that process is that manufacturing process.
Is that the one called agro-processing?
No, agro-processing falls under manufacturing, it is.
Okay.
But it's the silent part of the food sector. The most important part, because your food has to be safe for consumption.
Okay.
So we teach food safety skills. And we also say, if you are running a small bakery from your kitchen, how safe are those products that you're producing in there? That is where we come in. We teach you the skills of producing, of baking rather, in a safe environment. You can't just, I can't just eat dikuku tse ke sa tsebeng hore they were baked in a clean kitchen, for example. So that's what we teach you. And then the other thing when we're talking to young people at Orbit College is some of the skills we give you is the skills to know when it's time to leave the kitchen and to go and maybe open a factory. So we teach you those skills. And sorry, Chair, in closing, maybe on my side is last year we did a program with Duke University. It's a US-based university, it's an Ivy League school, where we sent 24 young people to go learn the skills of how to get out of the kitchen, you know, and to know and understand when it's time to leave. We gave them those skills. And I'm glad to announce that a lot of them are flourishing, you know, from the skills that they've learned. 24 of those. We've sent 10 also exhibitors to go exhibit at the Summer Fancy Food Show in New York City, where they went out and showcased their product. Just last week, we had Africa Food Show in Cape Town, where for the first time of, you know, participating in that show, we saw a high number of businesses from the Northwest applying, a province that we've always battled with. So something is happening, you know, and then it's quite impressive. But what we are saying is for you to be able to do all of those things, you must have the skills. If you want to go and sell your product to SPA, SPA is going to want to know how safe is this product for consumption. Before it can look pretty and you can say my mother and my neighbors love my chili sauce, but if it's not safe, it's just not going to fly.
It's quite encouraging when you're talking in the Northwest Province, because that's my heart is, I grew up here, and also the high levels of unemployment. So it's really encouraging what you are saying there. And, you know, as you're speaking, I was thinking about, you know, when you're talking food safety, that issue of listeriosis.
Oh, yes,
You remember
absolutely.
when you were talking listeriosis?
It was a big thing.
Viennas were killing.
Yeah, it was a big
they were
thing that
killing
Tiger
people.
Brands has actually
Yeah.
not been
So
able
you
to
you
shake
help
that off.
avoid disasters
Tiger
like
Brands
that.
is one of our biggest levy payers, and it's something that when that happened, we had to go in and retrain their food safety teams because they found listeriosis even on the building.
Okay.
You know, so food safety is quite a big thing, and you can avoid lawsuits. People get sued for situations like
Okay.
that. Thank you.
So for you, Dr. Mufe, because I see 5 minutes left, you'll prepare how young people can get in touch with you for those programs, even yourself, as we go to Nonhlanhla Mkhize. The programs that you do offer within forestry, the fauna and the flora, that's what you guys deal with there. And then Tatoko Parlamente, when you'll come and close for everyone, because La Rubusa. Is it working? Is it yeah. Adima Namfo. Yo, Mikey, you feel it's a bit.
No, this is fine.
Oh, okay. All right.
Just like any other government department, we do offer internships for graduates and also bursaries just to make sure that we have the capacity and the skills for the environment sector as a whole. I would also encourage the young people to visit our website because we are a very big department. We have about 9 branches, but the branch that I'm responsible for, that I come from, we mainly have what I call 2 types of your entry-level programs. Mainly the one part, which is the framework that we work with young people on, it's the expanded public works program framework, within which your participation as a young person would be limited to a specific period. So the one that I would like to share, and I have the colleague with me today, is the programs that we run in terms of youth and skills development.
Please.
So we have a range of programs there, and as I say, and mindful of the time, I would really encourage young people to go into our website. But over and above that, within the youth and skills development portfolio, we run programs specifically targeting graduates, where we place them with municipalities and other organizations for them to gain experience. Beyond the branch, we have other branches, for example, our chemicals and waste management. And I'm talking to that branch because earlier I did hear that some of our stakeholders are here. For example, we have what we call the Recycling Enterprise Support Program. We have the partnerships with producers, producer responsibility programs. So producer responsibility organizations, I did hear earlier they were mentioned. So we partner with them in terms of the waste economy, that aspect where there are opportunities for young people. So being mindful of time, I would really encourage that they then visit the website of the department. And as I said, the one part is the employment in terms of EPWP, but the other part is the skills development, still within the EPWP framework, but over and above that, it's the entrepreneurship related aspects, which other branches, for example, the chemicals and waste management branch, are responsible for. And that information is on our website. Thank you.
All right. Your EPWP program, I know often it's been branded very badly that you'll find people sleeping under the trees with orange overalls. So you do find people really truly doing the work in what the young people eagerly participate in that one.
I like the question that you ask, and my normal response to such is that we need to be mindful. EPWP is a government program. So when you see EPWP, for example, if you walk around and you see people either wearing orange or blue, it aligns with the department. So it could be any department. But what is key is that the municipalities themselves have what they call community works programs, which is their type of EPWP. So the key issue that we people, those of us who are responsible for running EPWP programs, that we normally emphasize, it's project management, it's program management. When you see people lying on trees, you have a right to check from which department or which program are you with, and you can report that. Because I mean, as I said, it's you being a responsible citizen. But more than anything else, when you see people lying under trees, you have to report it, because it could be a management issue, but also they could be lying because it's their lunchtime.
Okay.
So,
your email address, or rather not email address, what do you call that, the website, because you kept on mentioning that.
Yeah,
can you slowly just give it?
Yeah, so it's www.dffe.gov.za.
www.dffe.gov.za. You got it? Okay. www.dffe, Forestry, Fisheries and Environment, Department of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment, dffe.gov.za.
Yes, and I can speak for our programs. Ours do not lie under trees unless they are resting. It's lunchtime.
And then how do they contact you? Where can, and I'm worried about, not so much worried, but I'm eager for them to get all those 4 programs that you mentioned. I wish they could be accessible somewhere.
No, those programs are accessible. So what you can do is you can check for my details on the website. You can even get my details on Google, actually. But ultimately, I think the person who runs the programs for me is here. Alina, she's sitting there.
Alina.
So
okay. So let's do it this way.
The organizers can provide the detail.
It's not everybody who would be interested in such a program.
Yes.
So those who are truly, really interested and eager, they can come and see you during tea time and whatever.
Great stuff.
So Dr. Mufe is here, he's accessible, he's available. How do they contact you before Parliament now speaks? Yes.
Look, I'm gonna be here, but then you can send us an email, right, at stakeholderrelations@foodbev.co.za.
Slowly, stakeholder Relations.
Relations.
And stake is STAKE.
Yeah,
It's a stake is a sanama, so-
STAKEHOLDER, then another RELATIONS at foodbev.co.za. That email address is managed through my office, so we definitely do respond. But we also encourage you to register on our database. But when you send us an email, we'll definitely send you the link, because some people battle to just find us on these platforms. But we'll definitely respond, especially if you are in the food and beverages manufacturing sector. Let's talk.
Yeah. Our
Thank you.
IT team, if it's possible, we can get these emails and websites and maybe possibly flight them there. I know technology can agree to that. I know young people, if you give them a challenge like that, they are able to do that. Relebo. No, just a joke. Stakeholder. So, Retoteti, thank you so much for showing up. And I strategically made sure that they all say everything, so that by the time you come in, and we've already gone over time, but now I'm the program director, I need to control myself as a moderator to say, finish, wrap up right now. So, but no pressure on you. It's important that these young people here get what you have for them from Parliament. As the topic is from policy to impact, what Parliament is doing, maybe to hold them accountable to make sure that they deliver on what you promise. Is that happy? Is it audible?
Yeah, it's audible, né? No, thank you very much, and good morning to the panel that is here, as well as the young people that have attended this important event. I think, Program Director, the reason why every time when the panelists speak about the programs that they have, you sound shocked, is because of the very same reason that young people cannot access them. It's because of lack of sufficient information. And that is what we always ask all of them when they get to Parliament. To say part of your budget is to ensure that you have an outreach, you get to our people, and then you tell them what it is that you have, which they can be able to benefit from. But you realize, just last year, you have 21 sitters. Each one of them have a mandate to empower young people with skills, all of them. But when you look at the numbers, in terms of where this outreach program were conducted, you'll find a little impact or footprint in the Northwest Province, little impact in the Free State Province. Most of these rural provinces that are there, it will be a very little impact. And that is what we're always emphasizing with them. The young people will not know, and they will not persuade opportunities that are there for them if they don't have access, or they are not aware what it is that you are able to do for them as young people. So I think as the sitters, and as entities of government. So I think that is one thing that we must be able to attend to. Perhaps the traditional way of informing young people is not working. The coming with a truck, issuing pamphlets and so forth, perhaps it's not working. Young people are accessible in their digital gadgets.
Yes.
What is the program that sitters and all these other entities of government have to make their services available from a click away from gadgets of young people? Even that having been said, gadgets themselves, of course, they cannot cover everyone, because there are young people in the farthest rural areas who do not have relative proper access to these gadgets. How do we access them? So I think it's one of the biggest problems that we have from the level of these entities of government that do have. Now the call real is that we need to change that, and then the reality is that government is geared towards availing or availing opportunities rather that are speaking to the green economy. Everywhere in government, I mean, that is underpinned even in the NDP. That is the understanding. That is underpinned in every legislation of government. Now, the problem, ke yona eo ya gore basha ba rona ha ba itse gore what is available for them and how can they access them. So from the level of parliament, we want to say to young people, they must be able to make use of the constituency offices that they have. Constituency offices is where you are able to access parliament from your own locality. You can be able to inquire about how you can access information on any entity of government, and the constituency office must be able to help you on how you can be able to access that information. So I think the long and short of it, looking at your time, is that we must be intensive and very deliberate in ensuring that young people do have access to this information and that they are able to benefit from it.
Thank you so much, Ntate Tsoteti. Let's put our hands together for our panelists for being eager to share this information with us. And I think the challenge to all of us is that let's make sure that we run awareness programs so that young people who are here and those around the country can be aware of what is available, how do they access it, because it's the issue of access and awareness. And so that we can make bigger impact, because you can hear that our parliamentarian is worried about the impact that we are making in our communities. So that's a challenge to all of us. The awareness programs, and these young people are mostly now online. TikTok, what? That's where they are. Let's meet them where they are. And when you hire these young ones to come and work there to say, okay, how do we disseminate information so that it reaches all these young people? I think we've covered everything we needed to cover. And also to get them where they are, in schools. Let's go right into schools and career guidance or whatever it is, but to give them information. They are a captive audience when they're at school. Just sharing ideas around that. Guys, thank you so much for your time. Raleboch. Thank you so much. All right, Ntate Balabala, as soon as he comes in, please do let me know. And at this point, ladies and gentlemen, please help me to acknowledge the presence of the comrade marathon runner. And congratulations there on running the comrades. I saw you did run. He's a comrade runner. Well done. It's not an easy fit. Let's prove that it's not an easy fit. Let's check. How many of you ran comrades last week? Just okay. I see you, my brother. Stand up. Those who ran comrades this past. How many of you ran comrades? One. I told you. One. It's not an easy thing, that thing. Very, very tough. So he'll come and address us later. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome on stage to talk about the paradox of progress. That's an interesting one, the paradox of progress. Why human achievement now demands environmental stewardship. And to talk to us about this, help me welcome Chief Executive Officer of MedPAC South Africa. He was one of the panelists yesterday. Today, he's one of those who will give us a presentation. Dr. Kishan Singh. I'm missing that energy today. Where's that energy? Aye, young people, aye. Viva, young people, viva! It's been 50 years of young people pushing and everything, so we need that energy that proves that is the 50th anniversary of 76. Viva, young people, viva! Aha, Dr. Singh.
Thank you, Program Director.
Thank you.
Thank you, Program Director. Before I start, I think I must acknowledge the government officials that are here and the organizers of the Green Youth Indaba. It's quite a task, and we commend you for this a few days of conferencing. I must also welcome all the CEOs of the PROs here and all the other officials. Ladies and gentlemen, my task today is just to draw your attention to the paradox of progress. I mean, we talk of progress, but I just want you to follow me, and I don't have much time, literally 10 minutes. So what I'm going to do is take you through a timeline to show you how we, as Homo sapiens, the species on this planet that supposedly has the greatest intelligence, how we are designing our own fate. So let's go through time. I don't have a slideshow, so it's going to be difficult. You need to imagine as I go through a timeline. How long do you think human beings have been on the planet? Any guesses? Let me give you the answer. Human beings, as Homo sapiens, have been on this planet for roughly 200,000 years. And in all of that time, we battled on this planet as foragers and hunter-gatherers. All we needed was survival and procreation of the species. And we did that for probably up until the last 10,000 years. What happened in the last 10,000 years? Let's think about this carefully. We as human beings, we learned to sow the seed and start to plant the crops that we needed for survival. So we moved from hunter-gatherer to farming, to agriculture. And that is what we've been doing for the last 10,000 odd years. With 2 hands and 2 legs, we were farming and sustaining ourselves. And then something happened when, about 250 years ago, and that was a major event in the life of human beings. And that was when we discovered that we can produce, instead of using 2 hands and 2 legs, we can do some things with mechanical engineering. So with the advent of the wheel and the advent of the gear, about 250 years ago, the Industrial Revolution, the first Industrial Revolution, we became mechanized. And now the process of farming with 2 hands and 2 legs became the process of farming with machinery. I can tell you one thing, that the acceleration of farming and the acceleration of output was unimaginable. And that was about 250 years ago. Then about 100 we discovered electricity. Consumer product manufacturing. And this is, and then another 100 years after that, which is probably about 50 years ago now, around 1970, we discovered the digital computers, IT solutions, running this we as in manufacturing. So much so that we have now connected 6 continents through massive manufacturing and distribution through complex. We are needing fuel. This natural fossil fuel, which is underground, we get this through Mother Earth. Why I'm showing you this timeline is because over the same period of time, our dependency on natural fossil fuels has risen exponentially. And another thing that we need to think about 2,000 years ago, we were literally 2 billion people on the planet. No, we were about 1 billion people on the planet. And we remained about 1 billion human beings on the planet all the way to about 1920.
business, how is it going to impact this planet? How is it going to impact people? And of course, you can make your profits. I think just to drive his message home, shall we just emphasize those three words: planet, profit, people. Let's go. Planet, profit, people. One more time. Planet, profit, people. I think green. I forgot to acknowledge my co-workers. That's Karabo and Tenjiwe. So on the stage now is Karabo, and then you'll see Tenjiwe coming in later on. Let's acknowledge them, please, ladies and gentlemen, doing the good work. Thank you so much, sisters. On this note, help me, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome of Public Works and Infrastructure, Deputy Minister Sihle Sikalala. We can do better than that for the comrade runner, the man who is bold. Comrade runner, exercise, you know? Deputy Minister, I am really truly inspired. When I saw you there, I was like, no, I want to be like you. Thank you.
Thank you, Program Director Hector Mtawung. Uzoyithola kanjani? Telekoneni. Yeah, but the youth of today are no longer saying uzoyithola kanjani telekoneni. They are saying uzoyithola kanjani ungayanga esikoleni. Uzoyithola kanjani ungayanga esikoleni. Great, thank you. Program Director, Mr. Mtawung, our leader from the Northwest Traditional House, or from the Northwest House of Traditional Leaders and Khoisan, Hosi Bukhalanyane. We're grateful to have yourself in our midst. Mr. Sanele Zulu from Green Youth, an honorable member of Parliament, Honorable Tsotetsi, was part of the panel before. The DTG from the Premier's office, who is with us here representing the Premier, and the Premier was here yesterday, which was a good reflection of how our government values young people. Mr. Mawelela, Miss Mawelela rather, the regional manager from the Department of Public Works and Infrastructure, Mr. Matlala, fellow researchers, young entrepreneurs, but more profoundly, the organizers of the Green Youth solution to address youth economic empowerment employment, skills development, and the Agency of Climate Change. The conference echoes well with the national theme for the Youth Month, which is Reset at 50, the future calls. The future calls for all of you who are gathered here to shape it for the better, for the betterment of the generations to come. It is about the youth of our country who 50 years ago proclaimed their national commitment to the future that is sustainable. It is about enhancing the motto that freedom lives in every generation. Since yesterday, South Africa's treasured youth have been connecting with policymakers here, industry experts, innovators, and investors in the green economy. It is at this Indaba that the next generation of green champions, leaders, it is here that the ideas are exchanged on how youth own SMME can set the foundation for an inclusive green future in the business sector. As the Department of Public Works, we are honored to participate and share with you in the topic entering youth innovation into sustainable enterprise. The topic is about young people moving from youth innovation, green enterprise, and making an economic difference. The topic recognizes that youth-led green enterprises are more major driving force behind sustainable development, from the renewable energy to digital solution and the circular economy. Solution for sustainable development by placing community values, and community interests at the center. Through youth-led green enterprises, we can take in local government, community need, while generating economic value in sectors like the circular economy, renewable energy, green infrastructure, and climate change. When it comes to key issues in the green economic space, we must also take note that in a water-scarce country, water efficient sanitation innovation that can ensure that green building policies result in the construction of new buildings that are water efficient. We wish to encourage you to look for funding opportunities for sustainable enterprises from a number of sources. Just 2 days ago, the United US dollars for innovative community-led water, waste, and energy projects. And I'm sure those who saw it can attest that they put the deadline for submission as the 25th. While Africa is the least contributor to greenhouse anchored on specific economic or sub-sectors of the economy which need our attention as the youth, because they constitute our short, medium, and long-term strategy. What are we talking about, and what are these sectors that come from this green economy? The first one is because of our strategic comparative advantage based on critical minerals. And that present an opportunity on battery storage, and critical mineral value chain as a whole. But the second is automotive sector, and the third is steel, metal fabrication, and aluminum. The fourth is on pharmaceutical and medical technologies, green economy, especially renewable energy component, constitute the critical part. And this talk to also green industrial processing, digital economy by promoting ICT infrastructure, digital trade, and emerging technologies. Clothing, textile, to ensure that we localize the production. Agro-processing and cannabis all of these sectors and therefore needs entrepreneurs to unpack and explore opportunities in these sectors. We have of course agreed on just energy transition partnership. But ours is not just an abrupt, just transition. It is a phase in, well-planned, and under just transition, we are focusing on solar and wind, which is currently taking place. But going forward, we will be talking more of battery storage as well as green hydrogen. In the medium term also, we are talking of mitigating factors which will be based on two areas. The first is, of course, the LNG, liquefied natural gas, as well as ensuring that we introduce new innovative solutions to mitigate carbon emission even in the coal sector. So that fossil fuel is not just dumped abruptly, but we move with all people into the green economy. So we stand here inviting those who are researching to look on countries that have explored how to mitigate carbon emission from fossil fuel. And these are areas we think will also represent the future. In October 2025, government published South Africa's integrated resource plan, which outlined plans to transform the energy sector. This included investment opportunities to address electricity supply and promote growth. It also talked about how to generate about 105 megawatts of new generation from solar panels. It also talked of generating at least 6,000 megawatts of gas-powered generation by 2030. And this will ensure energy security for our country. It also talks of the alignment with the National Infrastructure Plan 2050. And therefore, South Africa has a comprehensive plan to transit to just or to the green economy. It is a plan that leaves no one behind. As the department, we equally support SMME. We support the International Labour Organization, which implemented the Start and Improve Your Business program. This program generates business ideas, start-up, and support innovation in the sector. As the Department of Public Works, we are also engaging, we are leading the emerging contractor development program together with CIDP under the program of the Build, which seek to support small entrepreneurs in the built environment. On the 12th of May this year, we launched the CIDP SIFA Construction Fund, which is at a value of 300 million. This construction fund is designed to provide blended finance solutions to support contractors' sustainability, infrastructure delivery readiness, working capital requirement, and a long-term enterprise growth. So this is a package that seeks to support young entrepreneurs in the construction sector alone. To enhance skills, we are working together through CIDP on centers of excellency that we have opened. We have opened centers of excellency in University of Johannesburg, Wits, and Walter Sisulu University. This also enhances the building information modeling, which also help entrepreneurs in the construction space. As the department, we have introduced the Integrated Renewable Energy and Resource Efficiency Program. We call it IRREP. The IRREP primarily focuses on facility management through provision of energy, electricity, water reuse, as well as waste management in big government facilities such as your prison and others. We want to promote the use of these innovative solutions, whether people will be providing renewable energy from solar or any part, whether it will be water recycling or waste management recycling. All of these are opportunities we are introducing, especially for young people. We aim to ensure that we introduce up to 3,740 megawatts of equivalent capacity. And therefore, these are opportunities within the green economy. Delivering the 2019 Desmond Tutu Peace Lecture, the Zimbabwean-born entrepreneur Strive Mosiyiwa said, I quote, "We have to start to build businesses. We almost have to start building businesses when we are in high school, because if we do not, everything we fought and hoped for is on the line," close quote. And that is very important. Let's make education fashionable. Let us strive to educate ourselves, but let us focus on key and quality education that empowers us. And that includes introducing business studies in school. As I conclude, he said, you can only find opportunity if you are looking for them. A vision on its own is not enough. Hard work and dedication is required to make the vision a reality. The business opportunities are in solving society's problem. If you are working or you are running a business, you have to set aside time and money to invest in your continued formal education, research, and skills development for yourself and your business. There are a number of entities that introduce, at some point in time, valuable solutions. But because they could not sustain research and development, those valuable solutions were outmaneuvered by the new technological development. And therefore, investment and continuous research and development becomes important. We are a farmer, a builder, or engineer. Whatever the opportunity, it is just, you just need to add likely innovation. Wherever you are, think of how to sustain your entity and how to ensure that it remains relevant, providing relevant solutions at the time. Be inspired, play your part in the green revolution, reset at 50, the future calls for all of you. I thank you.
Listen, yes, this program, here is that program. Listen, yes, this program, here is that program. Yes, let them make it accessible. Let's push awareness. You be hungry. And you be hungry. And before there was social media and researching and everything, social media and all this websites, you ask yourself, how were the young people in the past able to go out there and hunt for information? And something that I find, when a young person asks, but where is the information? I would just look at them in the midst of Google, asking AI, and you're still asking that. When you've got power in your hands, just to say, well, how do I access information at Dr. Mufe's office? On this. How do I? You've got power in your hands. All right. At this point, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great pleasure to introduce a gentleman that I hold in highest esteem. Before I introduce him, actually, there's a video. Okay, let me introduce him so that after the video, his Somar ascends the stage. Rosh Mamabolo. So Rosh, I went to him actually and asked, because I don't know if we've ever really met physically, Rosh. He's not just one of those guys that I would admire from a distance, because he does the kind of work that I do, in consulting. And I was asking myself, is it Rocher? I can know some people about Rocher. Rocher Mamabolo or Rosh Mamabolo? So he says, no, it's pronounced Dr. Rosh Mamabolo. Akere ntshwantse o botsise batho. Ke ile ka kopana le motho in Joburg, deputy minister. Now I from a village, ko Madidi, you must know, ko Bohans, So, kere wallet. No, it's not wallet, it's wallet. Hatita Wale. So ke Rosh Mamabulo, Managing Director of Laura Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Don't you help us with that pitch situation? But before he comes in, let's check the highlights of what happened yesterday when we were here. For those who are not here, you'll just see some of the highlights of what we enjoyed yesterday. Which screen is showing us all that? We can go straight to that.
All right. Okay. Good morning. Thank you so much for. Unfortunately I can't dance. So you put me under pressure there. When I have my slides with me, please. So mine is. You could have easily said, my name is Mr. X, I work here, this is what I do, but that's not actually interesting, isn't it? He gets on stage with a bottle, third stage, the bottle has got mosquitoes. So he starts his talk by saying, malaria is spread by mosquitoes. I brought some here so you could experience it. So he opens the jar in a conference full of people. Right? That grabs your attention, isn't it? One of the most watched TED Talks in the world by Sir Ken Robinson does school kill creativity. And he starts his talk, he's a very funny guy. He starts his talk by saying, I'm blown away that I put up my phone because I need to listen to this because this is very good. So, we worked with him, Pedro Sabroni. He gets on stage. He says, death is a gift to humanity. So you listen to this, what does this guy mean? Death is a gift to humanity. Doesn't make sense. But it's got your attention, isn't it? Then he goes on to explain that when a person dies, we study, he's a forensic pathologist, study their cause of death, and their cause of death gives us an indication so that we can prevent future deaths. So one person dies, their cause of death then helps us to find out what killed them, and that way we are then able to go out there and prevent the death of other people. So my job is simple. How do you pitch with purpose? I've worked with, I think, 2015, 14. We have worked with over 1,000 and there are common lessons that we came up with, and I'll be sharing some of them with you. So I've been fortunate to and humbled enough to work with this entrepreneurs throughout the past 11 years. So as Elizabeth Taylor said, 6th or 7th husband, I won't keep you long, I promise. So the roadmap basically is, how do you open with power? How do you, I've already indicated on that. How do you open your talk in such a way that people put down their phones? How do you then build your pitch in such a way that people listen to what you're saying? But how do you also close with impact so that people can remember your pitch? So these are the things that are critical. When you talk to anyone, whether it's a pitch, whether it's a keynote address, whether you're talking as a welcome speaker, whether you're talking as a vote of thanks, this is what people keep up. How do you start? How do you keep people listening? And how do you close in such a way that people don't remember what you said? So you might have a great idea. Just need somebody to fund it. The money is there. I mean, you have been listening to speakers over and over. The money is there. The question is, how do you get your idea across in such a way that people can put down their phones and they can listen? So how do you open? I spoke about it. 7 seconds. You've got 7 seconds. Either you're interesting or you're boring. In that 7 seconds, if you are boring, it's going to be very difficult to get someone's attention later on, because how you open sets the tone, isn't it? Right? So you want to make sure that how you open gets people to put down their phones and they listen. If you miss them there, you need to perform magic or dance like Hector to get their attention. So you can start with Bill Gates, come up with something interesting. Or you can ask a powerful question. Did you know 3 out of 10 people suffer from this? Oh, okay, I didn't know that. Thank you for educating. Right? Or you can have a confession, right? Like Daniel Pink said, I need to make a confession. I went to law school and I studied law, but I never practiced one of the cardinal sins of law. Right? Or you can be humorous, right? You can start with a joke. But if you know you're not Trevor Noah, please stay away from jokes, right? Or you can start with a joke if you know you are a funny guy. Right? Then people have your attention. They listen to you, right? One guy at a conference 2 years ago said something like, this is the last generation that can read and write. Our great-grandchildren will never be able to read and write. And then he goes on to explain the effects of artificial intelligence, that going forward, people will not have to write or even read because AI is going to do the bulk of the work. But that's how he starts his talk, right? This is interesting. So you've got a very limited time to put up a powerful talk. You can share a story, shocking facts, powerful questions, and on and on and on. So what is an investable pitch? An investable pitch does 4 things. One, if I'm a judge and the judge is in front here, I'm listening to your talk, can I get my return on investment? Right. So they look at, if I invest in this idea, will there be a return on investment? They look at, is there demand? Do people want this thing that you, can they pay for it? Can they budget for it? Who are you working with? Who are you? A capable team. Who are you? Who are you working with? Are they experienced? They know what they're doing. And of course, can we grow this thing for impact, but also for return on investment? So the problem, who are you solving this for? How big is the problem? What is your solution? How are you making money out of this? What have you achieved so far, the traction? And what are you looking for? What's your ask? So some of the cardinal sins that I've seen teachers do is our market is everyone in South Africa. There is no customer called everyone. Unless if you know everyone and show me everyone. There's no one called everyone. So you need to be specific. Who is this solution for? We have no competition. No, you're lying. There are people who are doing something similar or substitute products, right? And on and on and on. I'm not going to go. Some people even read their pitch. They come here and they read their pitch. So it stops being a public speaking. It becomes a public. Right. So that's 1.4 trillion, right? In terms of projected investment opportunities by 2030. So there's a lot of money. There are a lot of opportunities. But you're going to access those opportunities if you can be able to pitch your idea effectively, right? Is your idea clear? Is the problem statement clear, right? Are you credible? In other words, are there people who said this thing can work? Is it validated? And of course, are you telling a story? People remember stories. So we take them through what we call the pitch canvas, rigorous problem, solution, value prop, market, the size of the market. How are you going to make money? Has anyone validated this? Who are you? What's your competition? And most importantly, your numbers and what your ask is. So you go through that and then you close. You close your talk. And most of the talks that we remember in this room, we remember those talks by how they were closed far more than by how they were started. So the last words is what you leave people with. We always say, leave your heart on stage. Leave your heart on stage. Who has done that very well? Martin Luther King has done that very well. We remember the I Have a Dream speech by how he concluded the speech. Most of us can't remember how he started the speech. So this is how he concluded the speech. Free at last, free at last. Thank God Almighty, we are free at last. That's what we remember. So how you close your pitch, that's what people remember. JFK, ask not what your country can do for you, ask what you can do. We don't remember how he started the speech, but we remember how he finished the speech. So how you close pitch, both of them. Our beloved Martin, it's an ideal which I hope to live for and achieve, but if needs be, it's an ideal for which I'm prepared to die. At the Rivonia trial, people don't remember how he started the talk, but they remembered how he finished the talk. He quote this quite often because he left his heart on stage. One of my favorites, Jonathan Truth, talking to men during the slavery years, advocating for the abolition of slavery. And he said he finished a talk with something quite powerful. If the first women God ever made were strong enough to turn the world upside down, all alone, these women together ought to be able to turn it back, get it right upside down again. And now they're asking to do it. The men better let them. Right? And this was a speech that ultimately led to Abraham Lincoln abolishing slavery throughout the world. Because that's how they concluded the speech that we remember. Right. So fairly three concepts: open with power. Right, you're competing with social media. When you get on stage, you're competing with social media. How you open your talk, you want people to put their phone down and listen to you. So it needs to be very, very interesting. It needs to be worth someone putting their phone down. Go through your pitch and then close with your heart. That's how people remember your pitch. So we take entrepreneurs through this type of training. And some get it, some will struggle. Some semifinals, those who don't get it, they're like idols. They get the wooden mind. And those who get it, they get the ticket to Sun City, both figuratively and literally. And they are here. And they are here to pitch, and I'm looking forward to that. Can we give them a round of applause? All right. So for me, this is the most exciting part. I've been doing this for the past 11 years. Remember when I started, I came through on day one of the conference. I came through like everyone, like all of you here. And As I arrived, I was told, oh, you are here. You are going to be a judge for pitches, right? And I was taken aback. Oh, okay. And I've been involved with the Green Youth Indaba pitch, innovators pitch for the past 11 years. And in those 11 years, we have trained over, we've trained over 5,000 entrepreneurs. We have had over 500 entrepreneurs that have gone through to the semifinals, and we have had 5 that came through the finals, and we have had 11 winners. One of them was here last year. He blew us away, and today is no different. We're also going to be blown away. So can we give our 5 pitchers a round of applause as we're about to get into the round? So the rules are fairly simple. They know the rules, right? 10 minutes, 5 minutes. So you're about to get excited. 5 minutes, they pitch for 5 minutes. And then Dragon Dance style. So they have their own pitches here. And then we have our judges, which I'll introduce shortly. They also have 5 minutes to ask their questions, and then we move on to the next pitcher, and on and so forth. And then we'll announce the winners. The top 3, the prize money is 750. They will be sharing amongst the top 3 or 5. We'll see. 750 top prize, shared amongst the 5. The first innovators competition, I think they were sharing about, like the first prize was like 10,000 2015. So from 10,000 in 2015 to 750 by 2026 is a huge milestone. So I think let's give a round of applause to them. All right. I would like to, before we start, to give a huge thank to the judges who were pitching the semifinals on Tuesday. They did a huge job. They had to listen to almost 50 pitches in one day. We finished around 7 o'clock in the evening. So you can imagine listening to about 50 pitches and selecting the top 5. So I would like to actually recognize them. Ms. Mokhadi Masenya, and I'm not so sure if she's here, from Brand SA. Can we give her a round of applause? Ms. Semi Chula from CCBSA Coca-Cola. And then Ms. Musibudi Mukwele from TTIC. So those were the people who have selected our finalists. So today's judges, we have 4 judges. I have Ms. Alina Mtembu, Deputy Director, Environmental Services and Technology, Department of Science, Technology and Innovation. She here? Oh yes, can you give a round of applause? Ms. Candy Smoothly, Corporate Services Executive, Energy and Water SETA. Can you give a round of applause? You were here last year, right? Yeah. Oh yes. So great to see you again. And then Ms. Natalie Hendricks, Regional Public Affairs, Communications and Sustainability Manager, Coca-Cola Beverages South Africa. Awesome. Thank you so much. And then Refilwe Sukutu, Senior Account Manager, IDC. Is it IDC, right? IDC. Awesome. Can we give them a round of applause? All right. So, the running order of our pitches, we have 5 of them. Just do a roll call. Gift Badoy, just raise your hand. There you go. Can you give a round of applause? Our second pitcher, Puleng Motupa, all the way from Limpopo. Can we give him a round of applause? And then Ondindao Rasilwela. And then Loa Zijali. And then last but not least, Matlatsi Mamai. Right, so we have, this year we have 3 ladies and 2 gentlemen. I think there was a year where we all had women, and there was a year where we all had men. So we tried to balance the gender this year. All right. So I'm going to call the first pitcher to come through on stage. 5 minutes those are the rules. Are the judges ready? Awesome. Can we please get a mic for the judges when they do the Q&A? Can we please organize a mic for the judges when they do the Q&A? Can we also get a mic? I need to have a mic on stage for the pictures as well. Okay, thank you. All right. Our first picture for the Innovators Page 2026 is, can we give a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for Gift Baloi. Are you ready? Can we ask that we get her slides up running on the monitors, please? Gift Baloi, Black Green Energy. All right, while we are still waiting for the slides, just to encourage you, please don't leave after the conference. At the dinner, we will definitely be announcing the winners. There'll be some checks given out. Those who could not make it, because I know there are some out of 50, it's just not possible that you can get all of them to be on the top 5. So those that did not win, guys, please don't despair. We have had pitchers who came and could not make it, but they went back and improved on their pitches, and then they came back and they eventually won. So please go back to your pitches, improve on them, and try again next year. You are welcome to try again next year. But if you have won, you're not welcome to come back and pitch again. Right? So please try and come back. We have had situations where we have gone through these sessions with entrepreneurs and they did not win this competition, but it's so amazing that we'll get feedback a few years or a few months later. Someone will come and say, Dr. Roche, I went to a conference and it so happened that there was a pitch competition and I still had your notes. I pulled them out, I brushed them, and I went and I pitched and I won 60,000. So we've had those stories of entrepreneurs coming to us and say, I could not make it to the top 5, but because of the platform, I was able to, rush on my pitch and went on to win. They're still trying to get your presentation. So you can dance for us. I'm joking. So guys, if you did not win, please, this is not the end. This is actually the beginning. And please improve your giving valuable feedback. Please work on it and keep on pitching. This is the beginning. Keep on pitching until you win. We actually had an entrepreneur 3 or 4 years ago who came on the platform and said he has actually been able to raise about 400,000 purely on pitch competitions. So different pitch competition, engine pitch and polish, and all these other competitions, and he has been able to raise about 400,000. And this is free money. It's available. All you need to do, there is no business plan. There is no bring your grandmother as collateral, nothing. You just come here for 5 minutes, you do an amazing pitch, and you win, right? There are no forms. There's nothing. You just come here, you dazzle us with your pitch, and there you go. Are we ready? There we go. Your
Yes.
5 minutes. Are you good? Are you ready?
Yes.
Go for it. 5 minutes starts now.
Good morning. Imagine it's 2050 and then you are still using bucket water to flush your toilet. On top of that, your granddaughter is in the house and yet there are no lights. There you are explaining what's load shedding. I don't want to be that grandparent. We are Black Green Energy. Standing in front of you is Gift Baloyi, founder of Black Green Energy. We are powering progress with every drop. South Africa is still in the dark. 11 million households with, still without reliable electricity, and 2 billion of 2 billion rents is lost annually due to unmonitored water infrastructure. Unmonitored water infrastructure due to leaks, water pipe bursts, and siltages. Our solution is Black Green Energy. Our solution is Black Smart Vortex Hydro Turbine, which is installed in man-made infrastructures. So we can install this in rivers, canals, waterways, meaning your water treatment systems, and can produce 15 to 70 kilowatts per unit with just a minimum head height of 1.5 meters. Since it's water and water is flowing 24/7, it means also our monitoring system also works 24/7, meaning if there's anomalies in your municipal water pipes where we have installed our system, we don't have to wait for days or weeks to actually get a trigger that does a leak or a burst. That's our demo, but it's not playing. However, on the slide, previous slide is our prototype. Those two are our prototypes. Our competition is your wind, solar, and conventional hydropower, and also your diesel generators. Our advantage is that we are 0 emitters of CO2. We are affordable. Our maintenance and also operation costs are very low. And then we work 24 hours, and we do something very, very different, which all those competitors are not doing. We are taking advantage of 270,000 kilometers of water channels, which already exist, and also manage your water efficiency through our smart monitoring system. Our market is it's on demand. The market is actually calling us. Our achievements, we have won third place in the Standard Bank ASI Pitch 2025, and currently we have been selected for the NCISC 2026. Our pipeline, currently we are in communication with Vendata Mine, Kakamas Great Farm, and also acquiring water rights at Val River at Gongong in the Northern Cape. How do we make money? We make money by selling units for as little as 180, and then we also have a maintenance plan and also a software as a service monitoring system, and then maintenance plan, and also we doing energy as a service. With just one unit, we can make a revenue of 160K and break even at 8 units within 18 months. We are asking for 2.5 million, and then currently we are raising 2.5 million, and we are looking for 750, which is to do those 3 pilots that I've mentioned. I am Gift Baloyi, and I'm in partnership with UJ and the Makerspace, and also Northern Cape NCIF, and then we are, by this end of this year, we are people, rural and local employment, and then also skill development. By 2030, Black Green Energy will power 1,000 sites across South Africa. The power is in our hands. Thank you.
Awesome. Great. Judges, over to you.
Thank you so much for the presentation. I just have two clarity seeking questions. Sorry. Okay. The first one, can you just clarify who's your manager? I
Thank you for that. The first question is, who's my target market? I am targeting your B2B. We are on a B2B business model. So I'm targeting your mines, municipal, and then industries that have water infrastructure that's flowing. So, and also rural communities. That's my target market. The second question I get properly.
was sustainability plan for the business.
In terms of sustainability, I'll first cover the employment. I'm looking to employ youth and also local. And then in terms of sustainability, how I will sustain my business is in terms of revenue is through your maintenance plan, our sales, your software and service plan, because with that service alone, not including the sales of the equipment, we can do around 246,000 with just 1 unit.
Thank you very much, Gift. Thank you for the presentation. I think I'm just not clear on your by the end of this year, be able to employ rural community members. You gave a number, I missed it unfortunately, but in what jobs, like in terms of your value chain? And then the second question I have is your client acquisition model. What is your unique selling proposition?
Okay, thank you. So I am planning to employ engineers, mechanical, your electrical, and then also most importantly your TVET college. I'm planning to do learnerships and internship for TVET colleges in the local areas, and again opening learnerships for your green skills development, because that's important. Skills in terms of your renewable energy. Simply because I'm planning a manufacturing company to manufacture those rights, artisans, bill rights, and so forth. So that's the number of people I will be employing. And given that your infrastructure is basically construction, so I will do need construction workers, your general construction workers. So for the first 3 pilots, I do need 50 people. So in that list I've given, so you can imagine that's like 3 pilots and it's not even commissioning. So when we get to commissioning with the traction that we are currently having, how many people we're going to employ? The second one is, what's my value proposition? So my value proposition is that unlike other alternatives of renewable energy, we are producing energy from a very low head. I can give an example with your hydropower, your conventional ones. You need a very high head, meaning the distance from where your water is towards your turbine has to be more than 10 meters for you to produce only just 3 kilowatts. And for us, we can produce that with just only 1.5 height. So the other thing is an add-on, it's actually monitoring the water, right? So there's a lot of water moving on, millions of liters moving on our man-made infrastructure. Yet 40 to 50% doesn't reach the tap because of those leakages and what so not. So with our hydro turbine, it is embedded with an IoT sensors so that it can actually measure what goes in and also what goes out, and also the health of the system itself. That's my value and position. Thank you. To answer that, our system allows for and we can also do microgrids for your rural areas or rural communities. I'll just give an example. The mines are now under pressure for carbon tax bills. So with that alone, the must for them to actually do an innovation like this, for them it's a win. Hence, one of our intended client, which we are in communication with, it's Vendata mine, a mine in the Northern Cape, where we will see our innovation. Thank you.
Can you give a green round of applause, please? All right. Our next contestant. Can we give a round of applause to Dem Motupa? While we're still waiting for the first prize winner, giveaway 50,000. Second prize 75,000. Prize 50, and the last one will get 10,000. So everybody's a winner. All right. Your 5 minutes starts now.
Greetings, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, South Africa is a developing country, and there are a lot of places where there's electricity. Millions of South Africans spend a lot of money on electricity, paraffin, firewood, and gas just to make meals. Rising energy costs may be difficult for the families, especially low-income households. In this sense, it is a great pleasure to present a heat logger bag, a non-electric slow cooker that allows you to finish cooking your meal without electricity during load shedding and blackouts in the country. You pre-cook your meal on stove for 3 minutes, take the hot pots as it is, put inside the product, and the product will continue to cook your meal without you monitoring it. This product is made from high quality material. It's eco-friendly. It saves you money. 189 per week. It saves you paraffin, 7 liters per week. It's non-electric. It continues to cook your food without electricity. It reduces energy consumption. It's portable, versatile, and easy to use. This product is 250 rand when you buy it. We make the production cost per unit is 149, and we make a profit of 101 per product. We produce 1.6 units, and the production cost for 1.6 units is 208,400 rand. We make a profit of 161,600, and we can produce up to 2,000 units a month. Currently, as we speak, the product is available at Spar, Lovelt, which is Malanga, Northrend, it's Limpopo, Gauteng, and Northwest. The product is also available online in Takealot, Makro. Product is also available again in Pick n Pay stores at Woodmead and in Limpopo. Now we just signed a contract, 12-month contract with Shoprite to sell nationwide. It's Shoprite and Checkers. Lastly, the product is also available on Amazon here in South Africa and in the United States of America. Our revenue comes straight from the product sales through the mentioned stores and online marketplaces. Now we are looking for the new opportunities to partner with mines, government departments, NGOs, and disaster relief organizations. So we are seeking for investment of 420,000. The money will be used to purchase a delivery vehicle, a trailer, shipping container for Amazon in the United States, and sewing machines because we need delivery employees and also to market our product in the United States. So far, I've invested 378,000 rand, which are used to purchase 26 sewing machines, delivery vacuum, install the solar panels in the business, and also purchasing the metals for the products that we're working on. In my company, I have 55 production employees with sewing skills. I have 3 management teams. I have Vedma Consulting, which is our local marketing company here in South Africa. I have iCreate Media, our marketing company in the United States. I have Pillar Chartered Accountants. They are our accountants taking care of our books. And I also have 2 drivers who are doing our deliveries. We produce 250 units per day. We have a capacity to produce 5,500 per month. We sell between 1,600 to 2,000 units a month, and that gives us a revenue of 400 to 500 a month. Our goal now is to sell more than 5,500 per month so that we can make a revenue of 1,175,000. So, ladies and gentlemen, I invite you to partner with PJ Enterprise so that we can scale bags across South Africa and beyond. I believe that together we can reduce energy costs, create jobs, and make a sustainable cooking access to millions of households worldwide. Thank you.
Well done. And you were saying you can't do it in 5 minutes? Saying you can't do it in 5 minutes. Judges, over to you. I was briefed that also the judges have 5 minutes. Keep it going.
My question is around the innovation.
but I see yours is there traction. What is it in your product that you know, a similar product that was previously in the market, which is currently not, that would make your scaling of the business more successful and not result in probably market gain that result in thank you.
Thanks for that. In response to that, yes, we need to have a wonder bank from 1990s. So what's happening at the moment is that wonder bank is what came back to me. We signed a non-disclosure agreement to produce products. Remember, wonder bank has collateralized. The reason they collapsed is because they no longer use the product was ours is ours is made from policies. Theirs is made from polystyrene. So that's how we make them in their own.
Thank you so much today. Interested in the side behind the product. And just explain to us what is the material used, just without capturing on your ID. But I just want to understand this part. Secondly, I also want to know how the system. I think in the and then like just what
Okay, thanks for that. Firstly, with the instruction on how to use the product, you need to pick your main stove for on a stove until it boils. Take the pot hot as it is, put inside the product. When you come back in the afternoon from work, your rice will be 100% cooked. That is energy. And also when it comes to the IP of the product, unfortunately, product like this you cannot patent it. What we did is to trademark the name Hitler Apex. That's what we can say, so that no one's steals. Unfortunately, we cannot. It's like making a t-shirt. You can't patent a t-shirt, but putting the design in the name. So it's what we did. And in the United States, unfortunately, product we call it eco pot. We cannot call it Hitler Apex. It's just to note it off. The fabric, the sponges.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Just the durability to understand what you need to watch focus there after use how much focus there after use how long before you need to replace it.
Does it need to be washed? And how long?
The durability.
The
of it.
durability,
Like how long
yes.
does it last without
How
you
long does
having
it
to
last?
replace it?
This product here is international, and it's also most of the product that we make it comes in two different colors. Let's say maybe it's yellow inside, red outside. So if you don't like the red, and put the yellow color. And yes, the product will last up to 3 days. Depends how often it is.
Last question.
is to produce 3,000 units. That's why we need a shipping container. And also, I've opened account with Lloyd Hapag to ship the product in there. We just need to start the production and send the product there.
Awesome. Thank you. All right. Thank you so much, Kuleng, and all the best. Can we give him a round of applause, please? Okay. So we're halfway there. Our next contestant, just to remind you, the prize money, first prize 150,000, second prize 75,000, third prize 50,000, fourth prize 15,000, and the fifth prize is 10,000. Right, our next contestant is doing also an amazing innovation. Ondindao Rasilwela. Can we give a round of applause, please? Oh, and by the way, for the purpose of disclosure, he was not handing bribes, brown envelope, he was just handing pamphlets. Because I know the next thing, Madanga will be here. Right, it's just their pamphlets of their products. Ondindao, ladies and gentlemen. All right, judges, are we ready? Are we good? Are you good? Are you ready? Oh, you're never going to be ready, so we're going to start anyway. Your 5 minutes starts now.
Every year, South African farms burns over 15 million tons of agricultural waste. And in the process, they release carbon dioxide into our beautiful atmosphere. But not only that, farmers also invest over 10 million rand that they spend on buying plastic mulch. Farmers use mulching as a process of covering their soil with a plastic in order to preserve moisture, to also maintain the temperature of their soil. And in the process, they inhibit the growth of weeds, and in turn, they don't have to use herbicides. And the plastic that they are currently using now end up in our soil, choke our soil or our environment for over 400 years. And to me, that is a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, judges, good morning. My name is Ondindao Rasilwela, and I am a founder of Biomulches. At Biomulches, we have developed a biodegradable plastic mulch that is made from agricultural waste like maize stalk and sugarcane bungays. The mulch acts exactly like plastic, but in 3 months' time, it breaks down and it feeds back to our environment. No microplastic, no burning waste, just crops. This is how it works. At Biomulches, we collect our waste from our farmers, and then we manufacture our bioplastic, and then after that, we take it back to the field for application. The crop grows, and after the cycle is done, we then collect the waste when they are done with using their products. This is some of the pictures that we took when we were manufacturing our bioplastic from the lab. We are still now currently at a lab scale, looking on to going to a pilot scale. There we have the first picture, which is the cellulose that we extract from plants, and then we add plasticizers, and then we cast them, and then we have our bioplastic foams. Judges, the product that you have right in front of you, it is our mini prototype. 3 months or 6 months ago, that was seen as waste. But through Biomulches, we were able to valorize it, and now we can even take it to the market. This is what makes Biomulches unique. We are 100% waste-based. Bioplastic that is available in our environment or in our market is currently made of cornstarch and maize starch. And as a process, it threatens food security. And we don't do that. Our product is 100% biodegradable, and it is made with small and medium farmers in mind. Our business model. This is how we plan to make money. We are going to sell our bioplastic film to small and medium farmers. We're going to also sell it to organic farmers. And we are also going to take it to commercial farmers. And most importantly, the new technique that is hydroponics. Sorry. And also, we're gonna make money through research and development, carbon credits, as well as the government funds. But that is not the main aim of what we are looking at in our business. So far, we have attracted 2 major customers, Bachizi Farming, where they've issued us a letter of intent in terms of selling us with their biomass and also doing buying our bioplastic. We have also partnered with Kotane University of Technology. They support us in 2 ways: research and development, as well as pilot farm testing. We are asking you to join us. At Biomultis, we are not just making plastic. We are asking you to join a company that valorizes waste, reduce plastic dependence, cut carbon dioxide emission, and also create affordable solutions for our small and medium farmers. What we are asking from you, we are only asking for $500,000, of which half of the money will go towards equipment and infrastructure, pilot testing, certification, as well as youth development. Our team is composed mainly of 3 people: myself with a chemical engineering background, and we also have Prof. David Katarere with a background in pharmaceutical sciences, and Ms. Isabel Gwangwa with a background in crop sciences. Biomultis supports sustainable farming. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you.
All right. Awesome. I like it when you come within the time. Judges, over to you.
Good morning. Thank you very much. It's quite a zippy presentation. What is the ingredient to making us, without sharing too much, for the rest of the public? What is your main ingredient, and how long does it take to disintegrate? And then finally, could it influence the crop, whether it's organic or not? Can it influence the makeup of the soil once it's decomposed?
Okay, so there's something that I didn't get, and now I've just forgot it. Sorry, but the main ingredient to this is cellulose. So basically, or biologically, every plant cell is composed, or the basic structure is cellulose. So what we do is that we extract the cellulose from plants. So every plant has the cellulose, but what we do, of course, for scalability, we look at the plants that have got the highest composition. We start from anything like 40% to about 50%. That is something that we can work with. So when it degrades, it feeds cellulose back into the soil. So that is why we are calling it an organic. And because cellulose is, we find it from the soil, it means that it does no harm to our environment. But there's something I didn't get about the second question, ma'am.
So could it impact the quality of the crop that you grow in?
No, we did a pilot testing, but unfortunately, because of the funds, we couldn't go through the science of it. We just covered our crops with it, and then after that, the crops was behaving just as the normal one, or the one where they use conventional plastic.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for the presentation. My question is a little bit tied to what she has asked earlier. In terms of your plant use, what plants are you using to extract the cellulose? I think when you look at some of the challenges we have in the country around alien invasive species, it would be quite a double win if you were using alien invasive species to secrete your cellulose. And secondly, I think also when we start to explore clean tech businesses, I think we also need to be very aware of the policy landscape on it. Some of the regulations that are coming from the extended producer responsibility regulations, it's requesting that when you develop a product, you must already have a plan how you're gonna dispose it. So in terms of what is your collection strategy of after life cycle, considering that your mulch has a very short life cycle of 3 months, how are you going to deal with it? Is the farmers going to be the one who just bury the waste into the ground? Or do you have a collection mechanism that you need to employ to deal with the after waste? And secondly, I wanted to check in terms of your business model, you indicated that one of the avenues for you to generate money is through carbon markets. Can you just briefly say how you're gonna do, because we know that carbon markets can be a bit tricky to navigate, but I'm very much interested to see how you're exploring gaining access there.
All right.
Thanks.
All right.
Okay, so I get the first question you were asking what kind of waste I'm using, right?
Plant.
Plant, yes. Yes. So currently we have done maize stock and we have done Amaranthus catetus. Amaranthus catetus, it is an invasive species as well, but it is also used, people eat it back at home in Venda. So in Venda we call it tebe, but I'm pretty sure that everyone in the room knows it because when on the driveway or on the side of the road, it's usually there. That is something that we're also looking at, that using an invasive species will also bring value into the product. But however, the plastic that we got from Amaranthus catetus was not as strong as the ones that we got from maize stock, for an example. If you can touch it, the texture is quite thick and it is durable. So we do have an interest into investigating invasive species, but also for us to upscale the invasive species, it will also depend on how quality our product is. Dr. Raj, can you please ask me?
So the second one, so there's a carbon credit. How do you go about doing that? And then the second one is, okay, we've run out of time, but anyway, can you ask the second one? So deal with the credit quickly.
So with the carbon credits, I was just looking at the system holistically, that if we are using our agricultural waste or agri waste, we are first in our process, we do not release carbon dioxide to the atmosphere, and also we are preventing consumers from doing the same after the end of the cycle when they use our products. So with that, I think it is a hope or a plan that we should apply, or we will apply for carbon credits.
All right. Second question.
The second question I was having is that, considering the fact that the durability of the product is 3 months,
Yeah.
what is the afterlife
Yes.
plan? Are you collecting, or are farmers going to just bury in the soil?
No, it's once off, you utilize it once. So after 3 months, it starts to degrade. But also, we are looking at what do you call it? Optimizing our project. So the one that we have now, after 3 months, it degrades. But we are also taking into consideration that in some instances, we will need our plastic to last for up to 6 months. Let's say we are looking at the concept of hydroponics. 3 months is less, so we do need still to do our product development. That is why the backbone of our business rather focuses mostly on research, because we are trying to look at the different sectors in which our plastic can be used. But after the end of the cycle, it degrades back to cellulose and the plasticizer that we use. And also the plasticizer.
All right. Sorry, can we give a round of applause? I'm squeezing the last question. Ms. Motley, you have a question? Quickly.
Well, I didn't hear anything about potential job creation.
Yes.
So
Job creation. Is it job creation?
job creation.
Yes. What are the
in your the
Yes.
manufacturing of the plastics, or the whatever, laying it out in the farms, etc.
Yeah.
Yes, there is a slide on my ask about the development and also the job creation. So currently our team, we are only 3, but I am looking forward to have someone with like sales and marketing in order to get our product blooming in the market. And also we are looking for a project manager in terms of production. I will be handling that, and also I will need assistance. So there is need for more people to join our team because we cannot do it just the three of us.
Awesome.
Sorry,
Awesome.
just to clarify, I know very quickly, that's for your company. But in terms of the communities that you'll be using your material
Yes.
in, is there an opportunity for community job creation?
For the community, what we can offer them is collecting the agricultural waste. Where I come from, back at home, we do a lot of domestic farming, and in that process we produce a lot of maize stock. I think that is why in the project maize stock is at my heart, because it's readily available at home. So what we will do for the community, it means that we are going to ask them to collect the waste from the domestic farmers, and then we pay them for that.
Awesome. Can we give you a round of applause? Odindao. All right, moving right along. Second last contestant. Also an amazing innovation. Can we give a green round of applause to Lwazi Jali? Lulwazi. All right. He doesn't have anything for the judges, which is good. Judges, are you ready? We are good. Are you ready? Select. Okay. Your 5 minutes starts now.
Did you know that the highest contributor to climate change is the burning of fossil fuels? Now, the taxi industry in South Africa consumes about 3 billion fossil fuels, or 3 billion liters of fuel annually. What if I told you that nearly half of this fuel is wasted by taxis roaming around looking for passengers before they even begin their route or go to their destination? Because of this, commuters have to endure long and unpredictable waiting hours trying to find taxis. Now, this makes things inconvenient for commuters, all because taxi drivers operate without demand visibility. And that's where Taxi Finder comes in. Taxi Finder consists of a passenger app and a driver app. The driver app shows taxi drivers exactly where they're going to find commuters or passengers along the way, so that by the time they leave the taxi rank, they already know where exactly they're going to find the commuters. This saves millions of liters of fuel from not roaming around, and also time. Now, with the passenger app, passengers can see drivers available on a live map. Also, they can see when the driver is coming, as well as taxi fare prices. This adds convenience and safety. After launching Taxi Finder for the first time, the app gained 1,816 downloads in just 3 days. We were then invited to multiple radio stations, including KFM, and this triggered so many taxi associations in KZN to actually approach us, because they saw this as a gateway for them to bring back and compete against Uber and Bolt. Of course, we were willing to help, but at a price. Hence, we charged them a monthly fee, making them our primary customers. There are 1,500 taxi associations throughout South Africa, bringing our total addressable market, or our market opportunity, to 45 million rands annually. What sets taxi finders apart is capacity through sustainability. One taxi can carry about 16 passengers, whereas your regular Uber can travel the same distance as a taxi, but then only carry about 1 or 2 passengers, or in some instances 4. Now, the question is, who's actually adding more traffic? The person who can carry 16 passengers, or the person who can carry 2? Now, with Taxi Finder, we're adding a groundbreaking digital innovation that's going to help bring sustainable and safe transport. Taxi Finder is gaining a lot of traction, so much so that the demand is overwhelming. The app can only host so many people, so much so that when there's too many users on the app begins to slow down and lag. Now, with the necessary infrastructure, we can purchase serving hosters as well as offloaders, so that the system doesn't crash when there's too many users on the app at the same time. Hence, we're requesting 232,000 rands from Green Youth Indaba. We are charging taxi associations 2,500 rands annually. And we have a secondary revenue model of ad space through our platform. We are currently working with 8 associations in KZN, bringing our total gross profit to 25,000 rand. With the help requested, we can onboard 30 more associations, bringing our gross profits to 75,000 rand monthly. After successfully launching Taxi Finder for the first time in KZN, we then onboarded Santaco KZN as our official partner. We then went on to getting approval from the Department of Transport, after which we got Taxi Finder patented. And then we started working with our first associations. Here's a testimonial video from one of the drivers. Okay. Needed to play, please. Okay. So in this video, basically what happens is the driver is basically thanking how Taxi Finder has made his life and his job easier. And we're truly grateful to see that the app is making so much impact. Our team consists of some of the most skilled and qualified programmers in KZN, including myself, who is an IT specialist and business analyst, and more. We also have some of the best accountants on the block, and we're proud to say that Taxi Finder is moving. Green Youth Indaba, please help us bring Taxi Finder to Northwest and to the rest of South Africa. Thank you.
Awesome. Well done. Judges?
Thank you for the great presentation. My question is really around the business model. Who is your customer? Because you've got 2 users, the passenger and the taxis, and then there's also the association. And what are your revenue streams? Are you charging a subscription fee? How does it work?
Thank you so much for your question. So basically, the whole initiative behind Taxi Finder is to add safety and convenience to the daily lives of commuters. So we do try to make sure that we don't charge taxi commuters because it helps with community-based impact. Hence, we charge taxi associations, making them our primary customers. So taxi commuters and users are not charged at all. They get to use Taxi Finder for free. And the taxi association, who benefits so much from gaining their customers back from Uber and Bolt, pay a monthly fee. When it comes to our revenue model, we have 2 revenue models. We have this revenue model I just told you about of charging taxi associations, and then our second revenue model is ad space. So with the large volume of users on the app, businesses can capitalize on those users by putting their ads. For example, we can advertise for a business and say, there is a KFC in 1 kilometer from the drop-off. So when someone comes off the taxi, they know that they can access this particular shop, gaining customers.
Thanks. Thank you for the presentation. I think it's really cool. What I don't get though, I get the convenience aspect of it, but I don't get the safe aspect. Maybe you can just explain that a bit more to me.
Okay, thank you so much for the question, because you can only add so much into a PowerPoint presentation. But I want you to think of a 16-year-old girl in town at night. She wants to go home. She has no idea of when the taxis are going to come or where she's going to find her next taxi home. With Taxi Finder, right at the end of her fingertips, she doesn't have to ask around from any strangers or any people, but she can see exactly on her phone where she's going to find a taxi and when the taxi is going to come. She can wait safely without having to go around and being vulnerable to perpetrators. Because what happens is when you don't know where you're going, you have to ask around, and then you become a target. People then see that you're lost and then they want to rob you. That's what happened to me once. It was one of the visions behind starting Taxi Finder. And then you lose your products, and in some instances you can even get raped.
All right.
Thank you so much, Lwazi. Okay. I wanted to check the environmental impact of the app. I understand in the beginning of your presentation, you said it saves the driver from just moving around trying to collect. But from it to be a clean tech solution, we need to understand what, because you would be measuring it from from GHG emissions from fossil fuels that are used in the taxi. Have you guys been able to make that assessment to say, without a taxi finder, these are the kilometers that would normally be traveled by the taxi, whether with or without passengers, versus when you use your app? So what is the environmental impact in terms of the analysis that maybe you have have evaluated?
Okay, thank you so much for your question. So, in answering your question, that was one of the most attracting or most buy-in advances that we had when we were pitching the app to taxi association bodies. Because a taxi association body basically compromises of a chairperson and taxi owners. So what happens is the taxi owners know how much they spend on fuel monthly or weekly, and they have that jotted down. With Taxi Finder, the reduction that they saw made them realize the need for the app. So in the beginning of my presentation, I had mentioned that the taxi industry consumes about 3 billion liters of fuel annually. And due to analytics, almost half of that fuel is wasted as taxis roam around trying to find their passengers before going through that route. So in answering your question, about half of 3 billion, which is 1.5 billion liters of fuel is wasted from roaming around. But with Taxi Finder, taxi drivers and taxi owners have saved so much fuel, so much so that even in the testimonial video that wasn't playing, the taxi driver was actually saying, thank you for now when I cash up, I only spend so much of fuel because now my route is guided and I know exactly where I'm going.
Okay, no, what I really wanted to get to is that have you done your calculations to say exactly how much? Because I think for you to really make it as a business case for environmental impact, an analysis needs to be made so that we know exactly a rough estimation of how much are the savings. But I think it's something that as you go further, it's things you need to consider of the actual figures.
Yes, definitely. And what made that hard to get an exact value of how much fuel has been saved is because taxis travel different distances and travel different routes in different districts. So the taxi associations that we work with are spread out throughout KZN in different districts. You've got Mkungundlo,
right.
district, etc. So
wrap up your answer. We need to move on.
So with that said, there's long distance traveling and the short distance traveling. So we're having to track the amounts of fuel saved between those two categories makes it hard to get an accurate analytic value. But I'll definitely keep that in mind and trying to find
Awesome.
a way around it.
Last question, judges, are we fine? Can we move on? We're fine. Okay. Can we give him a round of applause? All right. So just to make up time, our last contestant. Just to remind, the first prize 150. So I don't wish to be the judges because I would be very confused. Our last contestant, Biodiesel Mahlatsi Mamaila. Can we give a round of applause? Are you ready? Judges, are you ready? All right. Your 5 minutes starts now.
Waste is a huge problem all over the world. It has negative effect on people's health. Its residues affect ecosystem and marine life by entering through oceans and the rivers. Good day, my name is Mahlatsi Mamaila, the founder of INO Biodiesel, a 100% female-owned business started in 2020. A green energy which is 100% producing clean fuel, which is biodiesel from waste oil. We collect waste oil and convert it into clean fuel for a running engine, construction, farm mining equipment, substation, and fleets. My business idea was inspired by an article I've read about the advantages of waste oil during COVID-19. 2 months down the line, there was an incident of illegal waste oil disposal that spilled into the river, where over 300,000 people in the community couldn't access to safe, clean drinking water for over a year. The problem is we're facing disposal challenges, the high price on fuel, electricity shortage, and global energy crisis. So what we do is we collect waste oil, we produce clean fuel, and supply the clean fuel. We are a team of 10, 3 from Mataya with 13 years of experience in the biofuel manufacturing industry. We are tested by SANAS and SASOL, ensuring that we deliver a tested quality product. Our clean fuel is 100% green fuel, 90% less emission, reduces fuel consumption, non-toxic, non-flammable, and sustainable, eco-friendly at 25 rand per liter. Our current customers are mining companies, are small businesses where they're using it for their generators and substation for electricity backup, and the farmers. So I started producing 100 liters of clean fuel monthly in 2021. I'm now able to produce from 10,000 to 100,000 liters of clean fuel weekly. Up to date, I've collected over 1 million liters of waste oil, produced and supplied up to 900,000 liters. I've attracted the market in Zambia, Kenya, Botswana, Germany, Dutch aircraft manufacturing company, where they requested me to supply them with 60 million liters monthly. I'm currently training 30 youth in clean fuel production. They're getting a monthly stipend. 30% goes into the community trust. I'm working with Limpopo, Northwest, and Mpumalanga. So with the 30% of the profit in the community trust last year, we were able to build a water research facility in Limpopo that the community is now able to access to safe, clean drinking water. We're working with 10 learners in environmental and water research. So we're not just looking to train the youth, but to create permanent employment. We have just built a small waste facility where we will be focusing on waste oil collection and waste plastics, which we, in partnership with My Work Initiative, and collecting some of the plastics and converting them into brand new schools. Up to date, we have donated up to 50 pairs of shoes. We're asking for 300,000 rand to invest on 2 storage tanks for diesel to install and commission on our client site, as we already started, but we need to. So, and the 4 flow bin that we're going to install so that our waste oil collectors and small restaurants in the location can be easily to access at the drop-off point. And the PPE for our 30 upcoming youth that will be training in November to dispose waste oil from the mine that meets the mine specification, and that will increase our production, and that will enable us to create 5 permanent employment by June next year. I am recognized and awarded by United Nations as Young Entrepreneur of the Year 2021 in Africa, in inclusion of 20,000 women and youth in rural communities. And I'm the Visa She's Next to winner in South Africa, Earthshot Prize nominee. I'm featured on Forbes Africa under Powering Sustainability. Together, let's fuel the future and build sustainable businesses beyond local impact and create permanent employment. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much. I want to save the time that you left for us, for the judges. Any questions?
Just for me, for clarity, in terms of the markets that you said you are attracted globally, are they attracted, or are they your off-takers now? You have agreements with them, you are supplying?
No, I only supplied Botswana with 100,000 liters of fuel. So we only supplied once. The second, cause it's what? Like I don't have like what do we call? I forgot the word. Sorry.
Permits.
No, like we're using the other company for transportation. We had a challenge with the permit board in Bodin to Botswana. So the Germany, Kenya, Botswana, they called me in to supply them, to ask me to supply them with the biodiesel, which is not possible for me now, as I'm still working on our raw material, which is cooking oil, and now currently working with PepsiCo in communication, so I can dispose the waste oil from PepsiCo, and already started with McDonald's in disposing the cooking oil from the restaurant, where they also buying our biodiesel in fueling their truck on the deliveries. So we're still working on our raw material so we can meet the demand they're looking for. With the 60 million liters, I'm unable to do that now because I still need to meet the standard on the Germany. They are not the same in South Africa.
All right, thank you. My second question is to say, what is the level of circularity in your processes?
Sorry?
What is the level of circularity in your overall process?
The level of circularity in the process.
I'm not sure.
Once they've used your oil, what happens to it? Can they circulate it over?
Okay, with our used oil, we're collecting used oil. So during the process, there's a glycerin waste, which is our part of the initiative. With that glycerin, we have like 10 youth that converting the glycerin into foam bath and washing soap. So with the process of the used cooking oil, it goes through the burning where we check the water content in the used cooking oil to the process. Then we convert it into the clean fuel. We test it at our lab. Then we take it to the SANAS and SASOL to confirm the verification. Then we supplying it to our client in the mining and farmers and small businesses where they're using it for their generators, and also fleet and bakkies at the farmers.
Thanks for your presentation. I'd just like to find out what is your competitive advantage? Because there's other biodiesel producers and you seem, to be getting a little bit ahead in terms of, gaining traction. So what is your particular competitive advantage?
I can say, sorry, thank you for your question. I can say my competitive advantage is the community impact. I'm working with mine in Northwest, in Mpumalanga, and Limpopo, where I'm working with 30 youth in disposing the waste oil from the mine, that we creating permanent employment, and also the waste oil we collecting from the mine to the production, we supply back the diesel into the mines.
Okay, no, thanks. But I wanted to find out in particular, why is the likes of your customers like Sasol really interested in your product? What is it about your product that's so unique that it attracts the big players in the market?
Okay, with Sasol, they also moving into the biodiesel, which they also, with the Sasol, what I know is they also moving into the biodiesel. They have not yet started. So they grooming the small businesses in testing the fuel and meet the standards so that we can be able to supply the quality product to our client.
All right, one more question.
Hi, thank you for your presentation. My question is, it sounds like you're a going concern and you are got contracts and volumes are going out there. What percentage of your profits do you reinvest in your business? Because it sounds like you want to expand. What do you reinvest? Because you're obviously a growing company. Or are you just, looking for investors?
So what percentage of your profits do you reinvest into your business, since the business is a going concern?
That I have reinvested in my business?
Yes. What a percentage of your profits do you reinvest back into your business?
Okay, currently as I started, and I'm also investing into the processing equipment and the facilities, I have invested over 80% of our profit back into the business.
Last question quickly.
Sorry, Moklat, I just want to clarify perhaps the question asked by one of our judges in terms of your competitive edge. Maybe you're not understanding the question clearly. What makes your client want to buy your biodiesel? Is it your price point? Is it your certification? Have you done market research that says my biodiesel is unique from this biodiesel because of X, Y, Z, and that's why you should buy mine? What is it?
Or is it the quality?
Okay,
Or-
firstly, I can say they first looking for, to be honest, they looking on the pricing. Secondly, they looking at, there are businesses of biodiesel around, so we're not using water or paraffin in our biodiesel. So there's no water content, it's 100% green fuel, not mixing with any water content or paraffin. And also, again, they moving into the green space, which they looking to invest on the ESG. I think that's benefiting the business on the side. Yes.
All right. Can we give a round of applause? Okay, we have come to the end. Thank you so much. Thanks to our judges, Ms. Alina Mtembu, Ms. Candice Moodley, Ms. Natalie Hendricks, and Refilo Sikutu. Can we give them a round of applause, please? And can we also give our pitchers who were amazing? I'm so proud they came under 5 minutes, even though they were complaining that 5 minutes is little. But can we give them a round of applause as well? Thank you so much. I am going to hand over to our host, Mr. Mutau. Thank you so much. You guys were amazing, and we'll announce the winners later. Prize money for the winner, 150,000. Second prize, 75,000. Third prize, 50,000. Fourth prize, 15, and then the last prize, 10,000. So thank you so much, and we'll announce the winners later.
Wow, well done, man. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yo, guys, people think, hey, when I wasn't aware where I'm seated among people who think. Joe, I put your hands together for all of them, please. As on belief, gifts, pulling, Wedendal, Lwazi, El Matati. Hi, bona man. What's it? Yo, you guys make me just so proud. Yo, to be in your midst. It's tea time. So, how it's going to happen today? We make it quicker. You're not going to walk that long walk to freedom. Like no. Today you remain here. We'll bring you your tea here. I'm kidding. Just tea and whatever we're going to give you. So all other delegates, all of us will remain in here. But suite 1 and 2, that's where we're going to have our dignitaries. Dignitary naturally, Mara. Those who are more dignitary than us. So some people are more equal than others, but others are more equal than us. So dignitaries, suite 1 and 2, suite 5. Speakers plus MC. Muhuludi, all the partners. Partners. Greenhouse. Long walk to freedom. Only exhibitors go in there. But all others, you'll get your tea. Only 15 minutes. Sharp. Rabuya. I can't wait to hear who's going to win tonight from those 5 amazing people. And I'm quite impressed. There are more 3 ladies, 2 guys. Beautiful, powerful.
Hey, what's up?
Oh, breaking news. Sorry, breaking news. You have to hear this. Breaking news. Sorry, I promised you. Sorry, guys. It's Friday, man. It's just troll. It's Friday, man. In the spirit of Friday and youth. Umocha kir.